Since biblical times, man has witnessed and recorded strange manifestations in the sky and speculated on the possibilities of visitors from another world.
There is a craft slowly making its way to us here on Earth. It's nuanced, how they explain that. You even got a date. People have been whispering a date for a long time now.
The world is going to end on July 5th, 1998 at 7 o'clock in the morning.
This July 5th, I will finally be ensconced in the brain-blistering embrace of Bob.
That fateful day, July 5th, 1998.
When we come together, what time is it?
It's time for
Shocking Mob Episode
20.
And we don't know what day it'll happen. This article was referring, as I said, to the 9 planets in our solar system: Mercury, Earth, Mars, Uranus, Pluto, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, and Neptune. When these are scheduled to be perfectly aligned in 1982, that these things perhaps can happen. Many scientists with varying ideas of what could happen have expressed their views that huge solar flares will take place, resulting that could be disruptions in the television and radio communication and a great deal more. I see that I'm not going to have much time to go into this anymore today, but these are warnings to us to repent of our sins and to get ready for the coming of the Lord, for we can see great and drastic things that are going to take place on the earth when Jesus comes and the judgments of God are being poured out upon a Christ-rejecting world.
Dear friends, July 5th. July 5th. That is a day of hope and promise for the SubGeniuses. Yes, friends, the day when the true America, the Bob's America, the America of our Masonic SubGenius patriot forefathers and foremoms and foreslaves. Today, July 5th, in Dallas anyway, is the first day of the end of the world. The end of their world, dear friends, because it's the first day before the beginning of our world, our SubGenius planet. Yes. It makes me feel so good to have a SubGenius holiday. We need more SubGenius holidays. Of course, every day is Bob's birthday, but, you know, that gets unrealistic after a while. And so we call, well, July 4th, what the Pinks call their Independence Day. We call July 4th X-Day Eve. And X-Day night, of course, we call X-Day-ine, sort of like Halloween. But X-Day is our Independence Day. Not July 4th, not Juneteenth, but Xmas. Xmas, dear friends. And, you know, the night before Xmas, the whole family, the SubGenius fully extended nuclear family, goes out and watches fireworks or else illegally sets them off in their backyard. And then everyone, the kids and everyone go in and watch Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street videos around the fireplace. And the kids are tucked in, of course, about 1 o'clock in the morning. And the grown-ups stay up all night throbbing and dooning and greening and doing X-Day chants about how the time is nigh for their arisal. And songs, you know, X-Day holiday songs like Take Me Off to Space, which we'll be playing soon. And on X-Day morning, of course, well, the grown-ups have been up all night, but the kids get up real early because on X-Day, the children are allowed to eat breakfast. And just before 7 o'clock, all the grown-ups and everybody sit outdoors on their easy chairs like I did this morning with beers or whatever in their hands. And they do a countdown up till 7 a.m. And then since it's not really X-Day yet, they meditate, friends, on what it's going to be like when those men from Planet X come down and destroy the normal people on this planet and take the weird abnormals and eccentrics and those of us who have to live in disguise as a human and lift us up and away into the escaped vessels of the sex goddesses. And that's what our religion is all about.
Yes, my fellow Yeti babies. Welcome to episode 20 of Shockin' Bob, an evangelistic outreach and social media barrage intended for those interested in J.R. Bob Dobbs and the Church of the SubGenius. Once again, this is your host, the Reverend Chasing Ghosts, and this time around, we are celebrating 29X-Day. Yes, our hearts and soul glands are getting prepared for the imminent arrival of the flying saucers from Planet X. And I wish to extend my personal greetings to everybody who is going to Slackfest 2026. This year, it's going to be held at the Mohawk Campground in Greenfield, Indiana. And this is strictly for card-carrying SubGeniuses only. We don't want to see any normals, jerks, pinks, glorps, Barbies, and Kens, or any of you lot out there. We only want card-carrying SubGeniuses out there. We want overmen and uberwomen who are pursuing the will of Bob and waiting for the saucers to arrive. And yes, Jesus is coming soon. He'll be on those flying saucers. Oh, you say that's not going to happen. You say no man knows the day or the hour that Jesus is going to come back to earth. Well, we don't know the day or hour that the X's are going to come, but we have a pretty damn good idea. It's going to be on X-Day. Bob Dobbs said so himself. So we're gathering for that fateful event once again, and we're going to live every day as though it were X-Day. But even SubGeniuses are slaves to tradition. The prophecy was for July the 5th, so we are gathering on July the 5th and crying out for the X's to take us all to space. And let's face it, for all of you pinheads out there who are still following people like Brother Joshua, who can't stop making predictions about when the rapture is going to happen, need I remind you that Jesus is Bob's drinking buddy? And besides, he's got a score to settle with some of you on earth. Oh no, it's not going to be gentle Jesus, meek and mild anymore. No, he's going to be coming down here to kick some ass. And the world itself will be subjected to the stark fist of removal of Jehovah One, while we, the faithful, board the pleasure vessels of the sex goddesses to enjoy perpetual slack in all of its forms. But enough of me yakking. Let's get into the program itself and celebrate X-Day together. The show starts right... Well, actually, the show already started, so yeah. The show continues. Yeah, that's good. The show continues. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
How do you know July 5th, 1998 is come and gone? I mean, they tell me I was born in the 60s, but how do I know that, you know? I didn't believe in a conspiracy calendar, that's why. Now, there's Bob Dobbs and there's a conspiracy, and it really boils down to this simple question. Who do you trust? Okay, now was he lying when he said, you know, that the conspiracy is comprised of pinks and normals that basically want to make your life miserable? No, he was pretty on the mark there. Now, let's compare that to the conspiracy who, let's say, in the early 20th century promised us that income tax would be temporary, only to fund World War I, and it would be over as soon as the war was over. That sounded kind of like a lie.
And only the rich would be taxed.
That's right. Only the rich would be taxed, and Vietnam came along. They didn't lie to us all during that war, did they? We weren't in Laos. We were going to have the troops home before Christmas. Well, they kind of lied about that, too. They kind of lied about Watergate. They kind of lied about with Richard Nixon, Monica, this stuff with Social Security, this stuff with Kosovo. I mean, they're all lies. It's always lies. But Bob Dobbs, he never lies. So you have to ask yourself, if he says that on July 5th, 1998, flying saucers are going to come down here and rescue us, that you have but one conclusion to come to, and that is that it's not July 5th, 1998 yet. Now, I'm willing to set my watch. I'm telling you, when those flying saucers land, and those extra shock troops come out here and cleansing the planet of the problem people and freeing it up for the rest of us to get a little bit of slack, then and only then, you can come to the very real conclusion that the time is 7 a.m., the date is July 5th, and the year is 1998. I also suggest if you got one of these computer watches that you set it, as it's happening, off your wristwatch for a very simple reason. Because I won't be surprised in the least if a dagger comes flying through the air and smashes through that same watch at that very time, because Bob Dobbs does not approve of this little dog's collar that we wear. And he has this idea about time control, thought control, control. He's against it. Another reason to side with Bob instead of conspiracy. So if you're a control freak, you just keep on siding with those people who are trying to control the hate group that wants to destroy the world in July of 1988, which they say has already come and gone. So now that raises another question. If they know this is going to happen on July 5th, 1998, and yet they believe that it's 1999, there's an inconsistency here, isn't it? Either they don't believe it's really 1999, or they don't believe us that it's going to happen on July 5th, 1998. There's a lie, an inconsistency, a paradox. It's all based on lies. It's the single thread that goes through the entire conspiracy sweater. It's a quilt work. You just can't get away from it unless you're with Bob.
Take me off to space. Take me off to space. Come on down, you saucer man, and take me off to space. Take me off to space. Take me off to space. Come on down, you saucer man, and take me off to space.
Stick needles in my belly, take samples of my skin. I don't care as long as I can live with saucer man. I know that you don't take requests, but I'm a special case. Come on down, you saucer man, and take me off to space.
Take me off to space. Take me off to space. Come on down, you saucer man, and take me off to space. Take me off to space. Take me off to space. Come on down, you saucer man, and take me off to space.
Hey, cattle mutilators, let me join your crew. Give me a knife, you bet your life I'll cut up cows for you. I don't care if you're some kind of ghastly fiend without a face. So come on down, you saucer man, and take me off to space. Oh,
take me off to space. Take me off to space. Come on down, you saucer man, and take me off to space. Take me off to space. Take me off to space. Come on down, you saucer man, and take me off to space.
Come down, you tiny robots with your little nipper claws. You pale and bug-eyed aliens with white and clammy paws. Life is just a sucker's dream and death is a disgrace. So come on down, you saucer man, and take me off to space.
Oh, take me off to space. Take me off to space. Come on down, you saucer man, and take me off to space. Take me off to space. Take me off to space. Come on down, you saucer man, and take me off to space.
Yeah.
Say, 5,000 years ago, a highly sophisticated group of space travelers landed on Earth around the Mediterranean.
Yes. To the simple shepherds and tribesmen of early Greece, creatures like that would have been gods.
Especially if they had the power to alter their form at will and command great energy. In fact, they couldn't have been taken for anything else.
Got stuck on the Earth longer than I meant. Went for a week, got stuck for 15 years. Tele-psychic helmets. But how did you get here in the first place? Easy. Got a lift with a teaser. Hypno rays? Teasers? Yeah. Teasers are rich kids with nothing to do. They cruise around the galaxy looking for planets that no one's made interstellar contact yet with and buzz them. Buzz them? Yeah. They find some isolated spot and land right by some unsuspecting soul that no one's ever going to believe and strut up and down in front of them making beep, beep noises. Rather childish, really.
Do aliens exist? Well, here's my simple answer. No, they don't exist. Now, and then people will say, well, what about all the other planets and, the bodies out there in the universe? There's so many of them. Surely there must be aliens out there. Well, from a biblical perspective, I would say, no, there can't be. Actually, God made the sun, moon, and stars for signs and seasons for the earth, the Bible tells us. And it's interesting, on day 4 of creation, when he made the stars, it's sort of like an aside, oh, by the way, I just made a few stars for you, like a few trillion galaxies out there. And people say, but if there's so many planetary bodies out there, why do you make them if it wasn't for, aliens to live on them out there too? Well, the Bible tells us the heavens declare the glory of God. God is infinite in power, infinite in wisdom. Infinite in knowledge. He is the eternal creator God who lives outside of time, and he made earth for the sons of men. That's what Scripture says. The earth is for the sons of men, and the heavens of the Lord. He made the heavens to declare the glory of God. And even though the universe is so vast and there's trillions and trillions of galaxies, stars out there, that's nothing compared to what God can do. That's just a little bit of his power, so to speak.
One branch of the church that we don't spend enough time talking about is our network of homes for slackless children. A week ago, I visited a nearby home nestled in the Texas town of Mineral Wells. I headed down a winding country road, turned onto the gravel driveway, showed my membership card and bona fides to the shock priests at the security hut, drove past the gun emplacements, and was greeted with green grass, tall trees, and the shining, happy faces of those little SubGenius children as they tried to sell me everything from lemonade to baked goods to a 9mm Kuna submachine gun, with adult supervision, of course. Yes, indeed, those kids raised enough money to purchase their very own SubGenius membership cards, and that made my Bob gland vibrate with joy. We took a field trip to Mineral Wells Fossil Park, and I was showing the children some fossils of trilobites and shark teeth, and telling the kids how these fossils were millions of years old. And this towhead kid shows up out of nowhere, and he's wearing a white-collared shirt and blue khakis and a smug expression on his face, and he's telling all of us that these fossils were deposited in Mineral Wells by Noah's flood some 6,000 years ago, and they can't be millions of years old because the Bible says so. When I told the boy he was mistaken, he puffed up his little chest and asked me, "Has any scientist always been there?" And I looked right into that little boy's eyes and I asked him, "Has Ken Ham always been there?" That little boy took a step back. He wasn't expecting that. More on Ken Ham in a minute. The boy finally stammered, "No, but God has always been there and God knows everything." I asked the boy, "Does any human being know everything?" He answered, "No." I asked him, "Does Ken Ham know everything?" He answered quickly, "No, but he's a man of God and you shouldn't talk mean about him." Then I asked the boy, "Close your eyes and ask Ken Ham for candy." "Well, okay." He meekly closed his eyes and asked Ken Ham to give him candy. Predictably, there was no candy to be had. Then I pointed at the Bob badge I wore on my ministerial garb, and I said, "See this man? His name is Bob. Bob is a good man. Bob wants to be your friend. Now, close your eyes and ask Bob for candy." The little boy closed his eyes and did as I asked. And lo and behold, with a little help from the kindly matrons at the Home for Slackless Children, a little pile of chocolate bars suddenly appeared at the boy's feet. And these were Belgian and Dubai chocolates, not that cheap shit you find at the dollar store. We even gave him the last box of Kate Weiser chocolates I could find in Dallas. There are advantages to being a for-profit church, you know. Then I asked the little boy, "Who is your friend?" His mouth was already full of chocolate, but he managed to shout, "Bob is my friend!" And all the little SubGenius children went, "Yay!" And I gave the little boy my Bob badge, and he put it in his little pants pocket. Right at that moment, the boy's mother showed up. And she was your typical backwoods porcine Pentecostal dolled up in her Sunday dress with religious tracts bulging out of her purse, and she snatched those chocolates right out of her son's hand and stuffed them in her purse while yelling at the boy for eating them. I felt sorry for that poor kid. Then the mom grabbed her son's arm and started dragging him out of the park, muttering some sort of imprecatory prayer against me, when all of a sudden, her voluminous pink panties fell down around her ankles, and she tripped and fell down flat on her face. And all the little SubGenius children laughed and went, "Yay!" I could never decipher what that woman was screaming at us after she got up. Maybe she was shrieking in tongues or something. I threw a sly wink at the boy, and he smiled. Then the mother dragged that little boy to her car, shoved him in the passenger seat, and drove off in a huff. I never did see the boy again, but more on that later. I did mention Ken Ham earlier. He's this Australian-born young Earth creationist who runs a creation museum and a life-size replica of Noah's Ark in Kentucky. And he loves to indoctrinate kids against any sort of critical inquiry, including that little boy I was talking about. Now, as a SubGenius minister, I strive to promote slack over any form of truth, including scientific fact, but in my humble experience, I find slack always seems to pair well with a little scientific literacy instead of pseudoscientific bullshit. And it was in that spirit that I gifted the Home for Slackless Children with Scrabble boards, Lego kits, and Gilbert chemistry sets, because children grow up so fast, dear friends. So fast. Oh, and that little Bob badge I mentioned earlier? It's got an RFID chip in it, a tracking device. I suspect we'll see that boy again. And the rest is slack.
Mr. Rowe, you're certainly one of the world's leading contactees. How many trips have you made to outer space?
Well, I'd say 350 or a few more.
When was the last one?
Well, first part of June.
And who did you go with?
Well, people from Jupiter.
And where did you take off?
From my home.
Any special launching pad there?
No, there isn't. They come pick me up in a car.
I can't help but notice you have Jesus and Buddha. Who's the...
Lord Babaji.
But they're all part of your belief system. Because
yes.
if I understand it right, they're all from other... They're aliens.
They're aliens, yeah. And they were aliens.
So where's Jesus from?
Venus.
Why Venus?
Love.
One Saturday morning, I was washing up wiping up some dishes in a very small apartment in Maida Vale, London, where I lived alone. And I heard this voice very plainly, in English, quite loud, say to me, "Prepare yourself, you are to become the voice of interplanetary parliament." I dropped the dishes. Matter of fact, I believe they broke.
That within all man there exists a spark that truly wishes to grow and expand out from these dark old ways of the past and be joined with us in the worlds of light. This is the reason we are here, to help guide you back onto that pathway that will eventually lead you to new heights of spiritual understanding and appreciation of eternal life.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Who are you?
Explorers in the further regions of experience. Demons to some, angels to others.
July 5th, 1998. July 5th, 1998. That date may not mean a great deal to some of you people, but science does not remove the terror of the gods. And on that day, 7 o'clock in the morning, all over the country, the earth will turn under the mothership. You'll be able to watch the rupture. You'll be able to watch the end of the world in California as it happens in New York. And you better believe we'll be selling a hell of a lot of SubGenius memberships in California in that 3 hours it takes for the mothership to get there. On that day, which we call X-Day, X-Day as seen by Bob in his Immaculation, the men from Planet X, as the news people will call them, they're not men at all, they're forces that can appear like anything. They can even look like the sex goddesses of the escape vessel. On that day, the Exus will arrive on Earth, make a mass landing, and at that point, they will be faced with the same choice you would have if you saw a dog that had been hit by a car on the side of the road. Shall I help it, take it to the vet, risk getting bitten? Or should I leave it? Or should I put it out of its misery? And the Exus will put this planet out of its misery if they get here and find no slack. If they get here and it is still a planet full of conspiracy glorps, namby-pamby, pink boys, Barbies and Kens and cage dwellers, they will destroy this planet. But for those of you who have in your pockets a membership card that makes you a minister in the Church of the SubGenius, available for a modest price downstairs after the show, then those lucky people, those wise people, those who bought part of a lucrative money-making cult now while rates are low, those people will be ruptured up into the escape vessels of the sex goddesses, where they will have front row tickets, front row seats, watching the pigs fry in their own fat on Earth like bacon in a pan. If they arrive on this planet and there's not enough SubGeniuses, because they want to see numbers like any good business creatures, they will put us to sleep like cosmic veterinarians. On the other hand, if they see a bunch of what we call bobbies, they will do the same thing. Bobbies. Bobbies. Those who, oh boy, they can sure say praise Bob and cut me some slack all day long. Praise Bob, cut me slack. Bob slack, Bob slack. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I did it for 5 years. But that's all they ever do. Sticking to the tar baby of Bob. Those who would like to think they're SubGeniuses because it's cool. Well, the Church of the SubGenius is cool every 5 years for about half a year. I trust that that's not what most of you are into it for. But oh, they've got the church everywhere. All kinds. They got Bob on their shirt, spouting all the jargon. Friends of Bobbies wouldn't know slack if it crawled up their ass in the form of an evil snake. But the slack often takes the form of an evil snake crawling up your ass, but you get the picture. Oh, they got the church. They got plenty of church, but they forget Bob. Oh, yeah. They forget Bob. When that hot flash of radiation sears your back and your hair's blowing off in the wind, your
you're going to say, well, I guess this is what they mean by the conspiracy. Or is this Bob, or is this Slack? Gee, I don't know. My friend, on that day, shit will literally rain from the sky. And tribulation money will rain from the flying saucers into the pockets of the faithful. You think Jesus had it bad? That's nothing compared to what they're going to do to you, my friends. Oh, Jesus had to work an 80-hour week, carrying that briefcase all the time. They'll have you nailing yourself up on that cross with electrified nails. Only once you get that first hand in, how are you going to nail the other one in, huh? You're going to have to pay somebody to do it. But how are you going to get your wallet out of your pocket, huh? I want you to think about that. There is a hell. There is a hell. People joke about, oh yeah, all my friends will be there. Hell is life here on earth if you don't have Bob in your life. But when the demons try to tell you that, oh, you think it's a big satire. That's only the top floor of hell, though, the one where they don't let you know most of the time. But we have a way to get slack, a way the conspiracy can't touch, because they don't have the hate. The hate! The hate! The fullness of the hate! Because, you know, if it wasn't for the conspiracy, we wouldn't have the energy for the hate. The hate that gives us that. It's like, oh, friends, if you could only hate like Bob can hate. If you could only hate like Bob. We're not talking about this namby-pamby diddly shit hate. We're not talking about this, oh, I hate my job. Oh, I hate President Bush. Oh, I hate myself. I'm talking about a cosmic hate, an all-encompassing hate, a hate of everything, a hate so pure that it's indistinguishable from Bob's love. And on that day, my friends, on that day, your paychecks shall crumble, your three-room condos shall fall to the ground, your albums will melt, and you'll be begging for one last breath of that church air. You think I'm kidding right now, but on that day, you'll know who Big Brother is, my friends. You'll wake up to your neck in false slack, false sex, false money, and go, well, where's Bob? Oh, where's Bob? I guess, you mean there really was a Bob? You mean I could have had slack? Total eye-watering slack for only $1? And I blew it? I blew it forever? You mean there really was a conspiracy? And you'll be crawling through the rubble looking for a can opener or flashlight batteries or something, your fingers crumbling off. And you'll be thinking to yourself, oh gosh, if only I'd read that book of the SubGenius just a little bit more closely, I'd know what to do at a time like this. And your soul, and you do have a soul, by the way, it's in your foot. Not the sole of your foot, but a gland. S-O-U-L, in your foot. Your soul will be laid bare, my friends, to the very real stark fist of removal that's hovering above you all the time, ready to come right down. And when those saucers appear in the sky and those tribulation days begin, you'll be naked to Wotan or Jehovah One or Ra or whatever you want to call it. Don't say that. And then we'll know at that time whether you ever really believed in Bob, because your belief in Bob or your lack of it will be all you have left. I think we can start bringing in the little bit of lasers, a little bit of smoke, a little bit of devils and demons and drumming and so forth, because we're building up to a sort of a head-launching climax here. But really, this joke thing about Church and SubGenius being a big joke, what if the United States became the kind of place where a secret revolutionary group would have to pose as something else? Wouldn't it have to seem like a joke where they couldn't quite tell exactly what was going on? I mean, after all, look what they did to our predecessors, my friends. So believe me, one of these days, as we get more and more disgusting bobbies in the church will have to change names and go underground just like it's been doing for thousands of years. But you can turn it around, my friends. You can turn it around and give the conspiracy a black eye. And if the United States refuses to see the truth of Bob, so be it. Let them be be blinded forever. If they don't want to keep their sight, fine. We're not quite as forgiving as our Christian brethren. Bob saves those who saves themselves, my friends. And none are so blind as those who have no eyes. But I like to think that Bob Dobbs is tamper-proof. They don't know why he's smiling. They don't know what slack is, and yet they still try to take it away from us. And when that tribulation comes and the SubGeniuses are ruptured up, and the peaks are frying on hell on earth, that one link, that pipe of Bob will still be there, that link between heaven and earth, profiting from it, waiting in the blood of the baptism of the fist face of Bob, burning through those titanium steel Fort Knox doors with the mighty power of that pipe. My friends, the conspiracy at large has 100,000 nuclear weapons. And the Church of the SubGenius, we've only got 3. And yet we dare to fight them anyway. We still dare to fight them because it's always been the crazy people who are dumb enough to stand up against City Hall. And you know something? The lost causes are the only ones worth standing up for. And you may find yourself saying, it's just so crazy, it just might work. And as long as slack is free, my friends, as long as slack is free, they cannot win. Oh, we may be broke, we may be crazy, neurotic, or drunk, or something, but for that we can hate them. We can hate big, because we've got Bob and they don't. It's as simple as that. We're looking for people who love to hate, and people who are ready to ignite the power. I love this job, man. This is Bob is coming. Bob is coming. He comes again and again and again to justify your sins. And his love, the all-encompassing love of Bob will burn away the hate. It'll burn away the radiation. It'll burn away the fire. Because ask yourself, if Bob Dobbs is who he says he is, he may already be world overlord. Are you ready? Are you ready for that day, X-Day? Did you party? Bob said you had to party. He didn't say you could. He didn't say you had a choice. He said you had to do it. And my friend, if you will have slack. You will have money. You will have sex hurt while they burn below. So keep your hate burning. Your love-hate burning. Repent. Quit your job and slack off. The third coming is coming. And he'll be back, all right. Bob will be back. But this time he comes to judge. And hopefully this time you'll know who he is. Church of the SubGenius might be a joke, sure. But it is the greatest joke ever told. If and only if Earth can make it to the punchline.
Well, is your mind reeling? Was that too much information for you to take in? I realize that sermon from Reverend Ivan Stang ran a little longer than usual, but trust me, it is important. Jesus once asked, "What would it profit a man to gain the entire world, yet lose his own soul? What would a man give in exchange for his soul?" Let me rephrase that question a little differently. What would you give in exchange for your eternal soul? How much are you willing to pay for eternity? We already have the answer. $44.95. It seems like such a minuscule sum to pay, but I promise you, that $44.95 gets you the membership card And that membership card gets you admission to the pleasure vessels of the sex goddesses on 29X-Day. And 29X-Day will be here before you know it. It's not too late. Get your money in now. Get your card. Get prepared for the end. We have waited 28 years for that fateful prophecy to be fulfilled. We're prepared to wait longer if that's what it takes, but we are still hopeful that this will be the year. We're not going to let Jehovah's Witnesses or the Branch Davidians out-weird us in terms of waiting for a prophecy to fulfill. We have a reputation to keep, and we have Bob on our side. What do you have, dear listener? And what do you have to lose, other than $44.95? Not much for an eternal soul, is it? Take the plunge while there's still time. When next day arrives and the flying saucers are in the sky, raining death and fire and destruction upon the cities of the conspiracy, it'll be too late. By that time, we will have already boarded our escape vessels, and we will be sampling our first morsels of what will be an eternal buffet of peace, wonder, and slack. There's room for you yet. Join us. Get your money in now. Get your membership card and get right with Bob. Eternity and slack awaits.
And a dinner at the all-new Harvey's Resort Hotel.
Paychecks shall crumble. Your 3-room condos will tearing your face in agony, trying to get one last breath of that church air, the one last glimpse of paradise before you get that eternity.
Christian. Use Bible verses.
The car,
My job is to understand what's going on.
Stereo and low about forgiveness.
Concrete, harder than the stoves, steam rising off the river road. Muddy water swelling slow, copperhead teeth in the grass. The preacher is a liar. I am just a ghost, dragging these heavy iron chains. Under the bridge, down where the weeds grow thick. Church of the SubGenius, pulling on the slack. Give me my slack. Church of the SubGenius, give me my slack. Never looking back, never looking back. Stolen, broken, borrowed and blue. Delta dirt under my nails, thirsty, dry mouth. Cotton gin hums a low tune. Washing my sins in the sill. Cicadas screaming, loud as a freight train, loud as a freight train, loud as a freight train. Blood on the porch swing, nothing feels real. Church of the SubGenius, pulling on the slack. Give me my slack. Church of the SubGenius, give me my slack. Never looking back, never looking back. Slack is the way, slack is the goal, slack is the hole in my soul. Bob is watching, Bob is waiting, Bob is sliding. The
conservative dark into the ethical life. The dense commuters come, repeating their morning vow. I will be true to the wife. I'll concentrate more on my work. And helpless governors wake to resume their compulsory game. Who can release them now? Who can reach the deaf? Who can speak for the dumb? All I have is a voice to undo the folded lie, the romantic lie in the brain of the sensual man in the street, and the lie of authority whose buildings grope the sky. There is no such thing as the state, and no one exists alone. Hunger allows no choice to the citizen or the police. We must love one another and die. Defenseless, under the night, our world in stupor lies, yet dotted everywhere, ironic points of light flash out, wherever the just exchange their messages. May I, composed like them of eros and of dust, beleaguered by the same negation and despair, show an affirming flame.
I am light. I am wisdom. I am your future. Come with me through this tunnel of stars. Here you will find worlds of cosmic love to which there is no end. Never, never forget the pathway to the stars. Go in peace and ever seek within thee the love that I give unto thee, for I am infinity, infinity, infinity.
I'm afraid the end time is near, the cataclysmic apocalypse referred to in the scriptures of every holy book known to mankind. It will be an era fraught with boundless greed and corruption, where global monetary systems disintegrate, leaving brother to kill brother for a grain of overcooked rice. The nations of the civilized world will collapse under the oppressive weight of parasitic political conspiracies which remove all hope and optimism from their once faithful citizens. Around the globe, generations of polluters will be punished for their sins, unshielded by the ozone ozone layer they have successfully depleted, left to bake in the searing naked rays of light. Wholesale assassinations serve to destabilize every remaining government, leaving the starving and wicked to fend for themselves. Bloodthirsty renegade cyborgs created by tax-dodging corporations wreak havoc. Pissed-off androids tired of being slaves to a godless and gutless system where the rich get richer and the poor get fucked over and out. Unleash total worldwide destruction by means of nuclear holocaust, annihilating the terrified masses, leaving in its torturous wake nothing but vicious, cannibalistic, mutated, radiated, and horribly disfigured hordes of satanic killers bent on revenge, but against whom there are so few left alive. Starvation reigns supreme, forcing unlucky survivors to eat anything and anyone in their path. Massive earthquakes crack the planet's crust like a hollow eggshell, causing unending volcanic eruptions. The creatures of the seven seas, unable to escape to certain death upon land, boil in their liquid prison. Disease encircles the earth, plagues and viruses with no known cause or cure, laying waste to whatever draws breath. And humankind, having proven itself to be nothing more than a race of ruthless scavengers, fall victim to merciless attack at the hands of interplanetary alien tribes who seek to conquer our charred remains. This is extinction level event, the final world front, and there is only 1 year left.
Wow, that's cool. I can't hardly wait.
You don't have to, because here it is. Because here it is. Because here it is. Because here it is.
The views expressed on this program are strictly those of the producer and do not necessarily reflect the views of the SubGenius Foundation, Slack Radio, or the online media asset during this program.
The image of J.R. Bob Dobbs and the term SubGenius are trademarks of the SubGenius Foundation Incorporated and are used with the kind permission of the SubGenius Foundation.
Listen up, Sugar Cube. If you want to send a message to Bob, you can address it to Bob, that's B.O.B., at P.O. Box 807 Glen Rose, Texas 76043. You can also visit the Church of the SubGenius website at subgenius.com. There's also Dr. Philo Drummond's outstanding website at quiveringbrain.com. Dr. Hell and his show archives can be accessed at askdrhellshow.com. You can also listen to Bob's Slacktime Funhouse, hosted by Reverend Susie the Floozy, on radio station WREK 91.1 in the Atlanta metropolitan area, and WREK.org everywhere else. We've got newsletters as well. Contact Sacred Scribe Dr. Onan Canabite to receive the Dopstown Mirror by visiting dopstown.org. You can also obtain the Vault of Slack newsletter from Reverend Zainofact at vaultofslack.com. And if you're looking for ecclesiastical domination via the airwaves, get your SubGenius radio at slackradio.org.
Now a saucer built for 8. I know that sounds just great. But I'm starting now to recognize a trend. I'd built it out for 9, and then I changed my mind, so fuck it, kids, I'm skipping ahead to 10. In my saucer built for 10, a mobile pleasure den, a hedonistic hoedown on its way to that sexy slack-filled place, away up there in space, we were promised would be ready come X-Day. Now a saucer built for 10, you might think that that's the end. But I hate to let down my SubGenius brethren. So I put in extra doors, I put some bean bags on the floor. Now I'm proud to say my saucer seats 11. Oh, in my saucer 411, my libido won't be ebbing. In fact, I might become a better lay. Cause I'll learn from the best, and I'll practice on the rest, as we all make each other come X-Day. Now a saucer 411, oh my, this place is getting to be one where it's hard to hear yourself over all the grunts and moans, so I put in some headphones that'll be perfect for my saucer built for 12. Yeah, my saucer built for 12. Oh dear Bob, the smell, and the furniture all has a sticky sheen. But if that ain't quite enough, well, I hate to say it tough, I ain't working us on a saucer 413. No, my saucer built for 12 will suit us all real well as we go tearing across the Milky Way. And no one's getting off. Well, everyone's getting off. and no, we'll never stop. Unless we go by that moon of Saturn that's all methane, like it has methane weather, like liquid methane and methane, like, ice, and there's like water ice in the mountains, because I want to drop a match on that. I mean, like, I know nothing will happen because there's no auction, but I don't know nothing will happen. So I think it'd be kind of exciting to do. Until we reach our new home, come X-Day. 23-666-808.
Oh, Bob. Oh, Bob. Did you spare the saucers for another year? Another trip around the sun, and still the exists haven't come. Oh, Bob, our future's looking black. We're all in desperate need of slack. My brain is weary, my body's sore, my soul gland cannot take much more. The pink boys hold the upper hand, spreading their filth across the land. Oh, Bob. Oh, Bob. Did you spare the saucers for another year? Oh, Bob, this world, as you can see, is in the grip of the conspiracy. They ridiculed every word you said, they cursed your name, they shot you dead. But still you dwell within our hearts, we wait for your invasion to start. We'll try to harvest more souls for you, but come next year will our work be through. Let loose the fist of Jehovah One to smash the glorbs until they're gone. Oh, Bob, the pleasure vessels wait. I pray that we are not too late. Oh, Bob. Oh, Bob. Did you spare the saucers for another year? Did you spare the saucers for another year? Did you spare the saucers for another year? It's time to start winding down this episode of Shock and Bob. Just to reiterate, if you didn't catch it earlier, oh, great, it's the 2-minute warning. I gotta speed this up. Look, send your love offering of $44.95 to Bob, care of the SubGenius Foundation, at P.O. Box 807, Glen Rose, Texas, 76043. Or you can make an online payment at subgenius.com. The music you heard on this episode included Take Me Off to Space by Nensway, Southside Slack by Reverend Alistair Giovanni, and a fragment of Saucer Song by St. Andrew the Impaled. The password for this episode is Jake Lang, one of the biggest pink boys walking this cursed earth today. If you don't believe me, look him up on Google. If you're going to Slackfest, stay safe, but not too safe. Go a little crazy and meet your fellow Yeti babies. If you can't make it to Slackfest, make your own X-Day celebration. Thank you so much for listening. Now go get you some slack. Why wait for theXists? Too much is always better than not enough.
Start the talk! Start the talk!